Hi, this is Tyson Dukes, the Canadian wrestling machine, as I am known up there. Get on board, because you are watching. No, actually, you are listening to, but you should be watching, because these two are handsome. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. Get on it!
Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. Here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
And we're back! Episode number 95. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. My name is Glenn Moore, joined here by my co-host Steve Guy, as we dive into the deep abyss of professional wrestling in the professional standard and the indie scene. Follow us on Twitter at TIA Wrestling. Buy our t-shirt on ProWrestlingTees.com. EC3 and Johnny Gargano sport our tees, and if you don't buy the t-shirts, EC3 will deliver a 1%er to you. And we do get more than 1%, though, when it comes to the cut of t-shirts. So that's how you're supporting the show. Basically, it comes out you are buying us basically a case of beer. When you buy a t-shirt, you are buying Steve and I a case of beer. So you can either buy at events that we are at around the Cleveland area. If you see me around, I can swipe your card and deliver you a t-shirt.
Swipe.
And you can buy it online if you want to wait the old-fashioned way to have one delivered to you. So
3 to 5 business days.
Yeah. Probably a little longer than that.
5 to 7.
And we're still waiting for Pro Wrestling Tees to let me upload our new design, which is the More Guy Election Standard shirt. And we might have another one coming up. Little hat tip. Baby. A little hat tip. Very, very beautiful girl walked by.
I always miss it.
No bra. Very beautiful woman with no bra walking her dog. Maybe a t-shirt coming out devoted to the Stranger Things logo.
Glenn Moore's a pervert.
No. Okay, Terry. And so we have that maybe coming for you. But as soon as they let us have it, have the okay to upload, because they're so swamped themselves, we will be having some new t-shirts for you on ProWrestlingTees.com, and also the TIAWS shirt is up for grabs for your buying pleasure when you see us in person at local indie events. Or if you're in the Cleveland area, just want to give us a shout out, we can set up a time so you guys don't have to play the
in a back alley.
Yeah, we have to pay for the delivery costs for having the t-shirt delivered to you.
I hope people are happy that we're broadcasting this week. We are missing 98 Degrees, O-Town, and Dream, Glenn Moore.
Now that SmackDown is live Tuesday, and so we had to record. Our recording days have switched. We are now recording on Wednesdays instead of Tuesdays.
In case something big happens.
Yeah, so especially with SmackDown being live,
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So we are now broadcasting on Wednesday. So yeah, here in Cleveland. And Steve and I are both in our low 30s. We are basically lovers of 90s, early 2000s music when it comes to pop. And there's plenty of... So we're missing this. So we're giving you some wrestling news, talking about the big news surrounding WWE and the indie scene as well. And like I said, you guys check us out on Twitter at TIA Wrestling on Twitter, Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on everything. And make sure to hit us up on those social media platforms. All right, not a lot of news to get into. And obviously, with Raw and SmackDown over, and by the time this comes out, Raw and SmackDown is an afterthought to you. This is more about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling, and not a lot, so this will probably be a short episode. And we say that before we start recording every week, and it ends up being an hour long. So we were trying to keep this a half an hour for you.
We're hot-winded.
Trying to keep it half an hour. So that's what we're trying to do.
Long-winded.
Trying to keep it short so you guys don't have to listen to us talk for an hour without an interview. We will be recording some interviews this Saturday at AIW.
How about this hot babe walking by Glenn Moore?
No, it's too old. We will be recording some interviews.
Draw the line at 65, do you?
Yes. We will be recording some interviews for you this Saturday and we'll have some more interviews coming, especially later in the month when some other guys come to town. All right. It's a little tidbit news, nothing really just drastic, but if you are a fan of the old school Raws, a familiar voice and a former guest of the show, Lilian Garcia, is no longer doing ring announcing for WWE. Her father is battling for his life, basically, and she wants to spend time with him before he goes, and they're kind of preparing for all that. So she is not going to be traveling with WWE. Is this the end of Lilian Garcia in WWE? Probably not, but for the forefront for the future, she is not going to be part of WWE. And we had her on the show, and we're talking to her. Obviously, I think last year. Well, geez, it's over been a year. It's been more than a year.
Was it? I thought it was earlier this year, but I think you're right.
No,
I guess it's been a year ago.
It had to be June of last year. So it's been over a year. It was at the old studio, so it's been.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So. She was talking like she wasn't going to leave for a very long time, even though they had like JoJo coming up. And
yeah, she wanted to be there.
Yeah, so...
Well, also, you didn't see Eden Styles leaving.
Yeah, it's true.
At the time.
So now we're stuck with Greg Hamilton, who is just off.
I gotta get some matches under my belt.
Steve,
it's an opportunity.
Know. We don't want another Greg Hamilton, Steve.
Yeah. Well... Anyway, it is sad that Lilian can't do it anymore. Because you're right. When we talked to her, she sounded like she could do this forever if she wanted to.
I mean, she is one of the voices of WWE in the Attitude Era. And she kills it when it comes to singing the national anthem. And like I said, I'm sure, and I hate to be like, oh, can't wait for her dad to pass away so she can come back. I don't want to be like that. But I'm sure once that all transpires and, maybe a couple of years from now, I'm sure she will come back. But, Greg Hamilton is not good. JoJo is. I like JoJo.
Yeah, I like JoJo.
Hopefully she comes back, and good wishes to her. And if you want to start an interview with her, you can go on iTunes. You can go on Stitcher. Our interview with her is published. I mean, it was a great conversation with her on the show. Geez, it had to be last year. I forgot the episode number, but... Yeah, it's been a year.
Lilian was within WWE for what, almost 15 years? Or was it 15 years?
She was...
Was it 17 years? It's something odd number. My point being, if the Fink makes it into the WWE Hall of Fame, do you put Lilian Garcia in the WWE Hall of Fame as a ring announcer?
No.
No?
I'm sorry, no.
All right. How long was the Fink a ring announcer for?
But I don't think it's even because of how long, but I think it's... The Fink was WrestleMania, he was...
But I guess I'm just thinking with her doing the national anthem and everything ahead of time.
She was there from 1999, so that was 17
years.
Yeah.
That's a long time, man.
I think she left for a couple, so
yeah,
it probably
like a year
is 15,
yeah.
but she made her debut in 99, ring announcing, an episode of Raw is War in August 99. So she's been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And, so I don't...
she's not like one of those people, I think, where she becomes a front runner or immediately, like after one of the wrestlers can no longer compete, you're like, oh, put him in the Hall of Fame. But I could see there being a conversation about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she was kind of, especially with not a ton of female faces during certain time frames, she was a woman of WWE. A voice that people could, I guess a voice people could get behind, but a very recognizable voice. There were points where you're looking at Monday Night Raw and you think either Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler or Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler, and then you think Lilian Garcia. She is, week in, week out, she was there. She was a tremendous part of it, and that's the flagship of Raw, so I could see there being at least a debate, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely a debate, but I mean...
There's no great precedent for ring announcer. Again, going back to the Ultimate Warrior's point, that's a kind of someone who should have gotten what he deemed to be the Warrior Award.
Yeah, until
they turned it into right.
Triple H took it to their own.
But that's what that award is supposed to represent. Those kind of people.
Yeah, but she's great. I mean, she was great, but Hall of Fame. There's definitely a conversation, but then again, it's kind of like, I can see both sides. Yes, right. And then saying no. But she will be she'll be missed, as a familiar voice when it comes to WWE programming. Another person gone from WWE. This will be a short little segment, probably a minute long. We'll talk about this. ZZ.
Who?
ZZ.
What?
He's gone. He gone. He was the lovable,
Was he there?
likable, tough enough competitor who actually got a contract from WWE, even though he was eliminated from competition. He had one match. He actually won his one match, I believe. I'm not sure. I forget. It was over someone notable too.
Oh, geez. I
one
hate to be that person.
Over one of these, over a legitimate, guy that should probably get a push.
That guy should no longer be legitimate.
I'm trying to find ZZ when it comes to his match, because he had one NXT match. They tried to capitalize on his popularity. He was very popular.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's a short-lived popularity.
Yeah, I don't know why. And but yeah, he was I can't find who he faced.
He is what I would like to call like that guy from Pawn Stars that's now going to jail. But that everybody, it was just a moron, but everybody loved him. You know what I'm talking about? Chumley.
There he is.
Chumley, yeah.
ZZ Lope was released from WWE, and he faced Biff Busick, and he actually beat him at an NXT quote-unquote house show. So, yeah, I mean, Biff Busick is one of the best indie. Obviously, his name is Oni, and why they give these guys weird names? So, yeah, ZD has a win over him, and he tried to capitalize. He just was awful. I mean, I'm not.
It's not a lot to capitalize on there.
I'm not going to bash the guy's look because Kevin Owens.
But if you watch any of that Tough Enough, he didn't grasp the wrestling. He didn't try to grasp. He didn't try to do anything else.
He was just there to be popular and add to his celebrity status because he was on some reality show before that. That's the reason why he was there. So they try to capitalize on that because he does have a following. People wanted him to win, even though he wasn't a quote-unquote wrestler. But he's gone, finally, and I'm sure he'll make some money in the indie scenes. I'm sure some people would love to go pay $20 to see ZZ wrestle in the indie scene and pay $10 for a photo. I'm sure there's people out there, but...
Not this guy.
No, definitely not me. So ZZ is also gone from WWE. Paige's mother took to Twitter defending her daughter, Paige. People were speculating that Paige is taken off TV because of her relationship.
Del Rio.
Yeah, her relationship with Alberto Del Rio. A lot of people are saying, hey, that's, well, there has been some talk that Del Rio and Paige are on opposite brands because of relationship. So Del Rio is facing some flack, but people are saying Paige is getting punished. And then, so Paige's mother, who was a very, very well-known indie wrestler over the pond, she took to Twitter and basically defended her daughter, saying she's injured. That's why she's off TV. That's why she's not appearing on Raw. So that's why she's hurt. She's nursing, and she's off the Australian tour as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of people face that she was being punished for dating Alberto Del Rio. Not the case. She has been hurt, which I heard that weeks ago. It's just I'm confused. People are thinking she's being punished for dating another wrestler, which. Obviously, it happens.
Would have been a long punishment.
Obviously, it happens.
Lita.
Yeah.
Imagine Lita.
Yeah. So Paige.
CM Punk and Lita. It's a theme there.
Yeah.
The last few I said.
A lot of. Well, we have other. Natalya, Tyson Kidd.
Yeah.
Rusev, Lana.
Right.
Who had their fake wedding recently.
Yeah. Plenty of relationships.
Yeah.
Bree and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Nikki and John.
Yeah. So. Did you see Eva Marie on SmackDown on Tuesday?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course I watched her.
So they're bringing back the old highlights of their career on the side when they walk out. They did that with, I think, with Becky. And
they did with everybody. Yeah, I saw that. What did hers say?
Eva Marie, so she comes out, obviously. She has a following from Total Divas. Only reason why they kept her along was because of Total Divas, not because of wrestling. But it's a 2013 Diva Search winner.
Right, yeah.
So I forget who else was in that class, the 2013 Diva Search.
I think JoJo was in that. That's how they ended up on. They both ended up on that first year of Total Divas.
Yeah, but there was So it says 2013 Diva Search. Yeah, so.
Yeah, JoJo was in that. I don't remember who else. I just remember that they were because they end up on Total Divas. I don't remember.
Yeah, Total Divas, but Total Divas is different than Diva Search.
No, I know, but that's how they ended up on Total Divas is because they came through the Diva Search.
Here's a little fact for you, Steve Guy.
Oh, you got somebody that was in there.
There was no 2013 Diva Search.
Oh, were they on the 2012 one?
No.
How did they find that? They just did a search for people to be on Total Divas?
It was a lie. And they have not. There's not a Diva Search, and according to the last one time there was one before 2013 was 2008, and that one was canceled due to the failure of 2007, and there was no documented Diva Search in the year 2013. And in spite of them listing Eva Marie as the winner of the 2013.
So they just came up through a search for females.
Are you sure JoJo was on that one, Steve?
They talked about how they found them both like through a same thing. I thought that's how they ended up on Total Divas. I don't watch Total Divas. I don't either, but I know there hasn't been a Diva Search in years. I suppose it was just a search for women, not for divas, so
during
to speak.
WrestleMania 31, they said they were going to do a Diva Search in the fall of 2015. That never happened. So really, there hasn't been one.
Who was the last winner of it?
2008, 2007.
Ashley Massaro? That was before that.
No, 2007. Eve Torres won that one.
Oh, okay.
And Taryn Terrell, she's now with, I think, TNA.
Yeah.
Is the only notable one. Before that, Layla L. Is that Layla from WWE?
Yeah, that's Layla. Yep.
She won the one in 2006. Maurice was also in that one. And Rebecca DePuto, who was in the ECW brand back when that was awful. Ashley Massaro was 2005, and really no one else like notable from that class. Really, no one has really come from.
Yeah, she had the stars on her elbows.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. She was attractive. She ended up in Playboy.
I didn't really dig her.
Oh, I was a big fan.
Her face. It was more of the face kind of than anything.
I don't know.
I like chicks with tattoos. I just didn't really get her. But yeah, she won. So Maurice obviously is probably, I would say Maurice is probably the most successful Diva Search competitor. I mean, she is a women's champion. She could still wrestle now if she probably wanted to. And she's back with WWE. But yeah, there was no Steve Guy.
Not going to lie to you. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I just remember them both somehow popping up on Total Divas.
But you're so adamant about...
I was like, right, they were on there. I feel like I was trying to convince myself.
I know.
Not necessarily you.
I was just trying to...
I was like, right? Isn't that how they came in? I don't know. Look, if I don't end up knowing, I'll tell you I don't end up knowing.
JoJo is young, though, so she would have been...
I guess it's just because they were on the Divas show. Yeah, she was like 18 or 19 when she came on that show.
I don't think JoJo was even legal. JoJo was not...
She was like 18 or 19 when she started on Total Divas. I remember them saying that.
Yeah, she was...
So I watched like the first episode or 2 episodes to see what it was about.
She would have been 18, 19 in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
She was young.
I was hoping for you to name some other names.
No, as soon as you were like, name some other names, I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe they weren't on there. Which they weren't. That's all right.
That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, so there was no Diva Search. They made it up. So don't believe.
Good Lord, if I could ever be fact-checked by Justin Summers, and one thing I'm not going to give a shit about, it's going to be the Diva Search.
It's a live fact check. I'm sure Justin Summers was like scrambling to his phone. I'm sure there's going to be a tweet out before.
Right. That's one that he automatically already knew because he has
waiting for us.
He has all the bikini shoots downloaded onto his phone. No, it ended in 2008.
I'm sure. So when I set this up for you, set up to fail, I'm sure he was tweet. I'm sure we will get a tweet before Justin Summers
listens
to me saying there was no Diva Search. I'm sure he'll be like, "Oh, sorry." I'm sure we'll get a fact check one and we'll get an apology one from Justin Summers. But as the segment drags on,
yeah.
So, but
my only thing would be as if their explanation is that they did a nationwide search for extra women to be on WWE, but not a televised Diva Search contest as we know it.
Yeah, but they said Diva Search 2001.
Because I thought they said, I swear to you, because this was the only episode I ever watched of Total Divas, I thought that they had mentioned something about searching for
No.
Divas.
Diva searches. Total Divas is a lie. And then pumping her up. Because what else are they going to put in there? Has improved slightly in the last year of professional wrestling.
Used to have brown hair.
And, I mean, that's why they're not going to have her wrestle on SmackDown, because she's still working to be better. And if they have her
hot.
And if they have her crappy wrestling on SmackDown Live, especially in a live show, oh my God, this is why they're having her in the ring. People get all excited and then pull her out because of a fake injury. You save her. She's featured on TV. See how long this goes until she'll bomb on live TV and hurt somebody.
Oh,
she's awful. I'm telling like it is, man. She's awful. She reminds me of other indie girl wrestlers that have partaked in indie wrestling.
They who shall not be named.
God awful. If you listen to a previous episode, I think I left that rant in there. I'm not sure. I made it edit.
You left it in there for Girls' Night Out. Yeah. Yep.
It was 17, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. What these girls have?
I'm not disagreeing with her. You're fine. She was terrible.
I don't give a shit what she thinks. What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? Nothing.
Find you.
Not like she's never gonna come back to Cleveland. Oh, God, I hope.
Well, you never know.
If she does, I would just say you're awful. Please.
Might be a surprise coming in.
Please don't hurt anybody. Please don't hurt anybody. Please. That's the most important thing.
What else we got wrestling wise? Booker T hospitalized, but seems like that was a scheduled thing. Took care of a surgery that he had been putting off for some time.
Yeah.
Everyone worry not.
No more spinning Roonies. So the one in Cleveland was one of his last spinning Roonies.
That was great. I got to see it. I got to be right there. I got to hold his watch and his phone and something else.
Why are you brag about
sunglasses
holding his watch?
while he did his spinning Rooney? It was great.
So I wouldn't say I held the man's watch.
It wasn't a brag. I was talking about how we were there. He said he did it in Cleveland. I was like, oh, yeah, I was there. I was remembering out loud. Certainly was not bragging for holding a man's watch, Glenn.
I was holding the man's watch while I did the spin and Rooney. It was great. The show is shit this week. I apologize for the shitty show. There's no wrestling news.
Yeah, the only thing I have, we're going to do, let's do a quick little grouping of people. Comedy Central, because if you listen to the show, you know that I do stand-up. Recently, Jeff Ross, who always does all the roasts, did a roast battle. My question to you Twitter kids this week, TIA Wrestling, tweet at us, and to my compadre here, Glenn Moore. You could pick guys in wrestling to be in a roast battle. Who do you pick? Who do you want to see be in a roast battle? Just tear people apart.
I feel like we've seen this in the 90s. I mean,
yeah, with The Rock.
The good ones.
The
like
Rock,
Macho Man and Hogan, and he had...
Well, of course, Roddy Piper.
Flair going at it.
You got to put the Dream in there, right?
Yeah, Dream.
Would you put our friend EC3 in there? He's pretty quick on the fly.
I mean, not against Flair. I mean, there is not one guy this...
I'm not saying he would beat those guys.
I'm just... Well, for sake of being squashed by... And I'm sure he would say this... He is not in the same league as Dusty Rhodes or Ric Flair.
No.
But I'm saying if you want to play pretend, there is not one guy from the modern WWE, TNA, indie scene, promo-wise, that can hold a candle to the guys we just mentioned. I'm sorry, there's not one guy. Who? Obviously,
no,
tell me.
I mean, the only guys. All right, well, I guess make it modern-day guys. Who would you throw in?
Okay, then if we're eliminating...
Yeah, let's eliminate the greatest voices of the past because you're right. They were incredible.
We're skimming the cream off the crop right now.
Yeah, we have to. Look, that's what a roast battle is anyway. You don't watch... Kevin Hart judges it. He's not in it.
Well, Kevin Hart's not funny, so... I would say... Okay, we'll throw EC3 in there.
Jericho?
Even Jericho's... He's cringeworthy now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's... Before 90s... You
have to go back to old Jericho.
Old Jericho is still like... He is not as good as the guys that the legends. We'll call them the legends. But he is... I mean, he would... I think he would whip... 90s Jericho, early 2000s Jericho would whip anybody now. I don't think there's not one person.
Enzo? I'd put Enzo... I'd watch Enzo in a roast
we all
battle.
know how I feel about... This Enzo guy.
I love Enzo.
The promos are just not funny.
I would put Enzo in there.
But there's a thing though. Ric Flair did not do a funny promo. He is intense. He took his clothes off, but that was like intense. Dusty Rhodes is not funny. He was intense.
That's true. So they wouldn't be in a funny roast battle anyway.
So like if you put Enzo,
so it's got to be funny. They got to be like funny digs on somebody.
He's a comedy wrestler. He's a comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about comedy. who else? I mean, Jericho, comedy-wise, when he was not filtered by now. I mean, 90s Jericho, when he said even Jericho admits 90s Jericho was WWE Jericho was not up
what
to
about,
his par.
Would you put Kevin Owens in a roast battle, just cutting somebody down verbally?
Yes,
That would be entertaining.
Him versus Byron Saxton would be very entertaining. Or
Byron would get destroyed.
Him versus Cole would be absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So Kevin Owens.
I would Kevin Owens
destroying because he's very quick.
Yeah.
So Kevin Owens versus pretty much. Kevin Owens is probably the voice of our.
He could be the one who wins.
He is probably the legend of our current generation.
I mean, I enjoy EC3 promos, but I don't know. Kevin Owens is quick, man. He's good.
He's good.
I mean, I would enjoy Enzo being in there. Would you put the Miz in, or is he better, more scripted than off the cuff? But I mean, a roast could be scripted.
Miz is good as him by himself, cutting a promo like that, not against somebody.
Yeah.
He's not a banter guy. He is more of a talking to the fans directly, improvising against the fans.
Ziggler, who enjoys comedy, but would you put him in? Could you see him being good in a
Come on,
roast
Steve.
battle?
Just because you enjoy comedy doesn't mean you're funny.
I know. What about somebody? How about the guy, the New Day? Could they be in a roast battle as a team?
Yeah, but
I don't know that I could put any of them in there individually. They do very well collectively.
I think they need someone on their level though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't put them on the same level, obviously it's a one-sided battle and it's not fun for either one. It's not entertaining. And like
True.
if you like okay. Well, let's go into it. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins promos.
God. Finn Balor would be terrible on it.
So let's open it up. Let's open up Raw because we're not going to recap and sit here talking about storylines because I find that extremely boring, and the listeners find that boring. But I'm saying we're talking about promos. SmackDown and Raw led off the shows with promos. Well, no, not lead. Okay, well, yeah, they led off, but their main few promos were obviously Finn versus Seth on Raw,
right,
and Dolph Ziggler versus Ambrose on SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
So we talked about this many times. Finn is not good on the mic. I don't care. To me, he's a great wrestler in the ring, but anybody in WWE aside from the Divas, anybody male-wise, is there anybody male-wise on the main roster for either brand a bad wrestler? Right at the top of your head.
No, not right now.
Okay.
Everyone's going to say John Cena, but no.
Okay,
he could put on a good match.
But I'm saying, male-wise, they are all good wrestlers.
Yeah, they
got to be.
They could all throw together.
Okay.
Yep.
So you take that out of the equation when looking at someone, okay? They are good wrestlers. They're good workers.
Yeah.
They are all of them are. No matter if it's Big Show, Mark Henry to small Enzo, they deserve to be on the main roster because they work hard. They're a good worker.
Yeah.
Now, what sets people apart is promos, the look, just the way they handle themselves. So Seth Rollins is one of the best today.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Finn is up there. He's very popular with fans. People love him. The whole demon thing is cool. Comes out crawling to the ring like a salamander. Okay, people like that. I get it. But he can't dress up that way all the time. He can't paint himself. That takes
like
hours.
6 hours. Yeah.
It's crazy. They're not going to do it every week. So he comes out to the Zack Sabre collar-up jacket and that god-awful voice, and he's not a good mic guy. He is terrible on the mic.
It was very concise this past week.
So people are jerking off and jizzing all over this, saying this is like Finn versus Seth. That was such a good promo.
No, it wasn't.
Seth carried that promo.
Yeah.
Finn is awful.
That was a one-sided roast.
It was awful. But then, yes, definitely one-sided roast.
Yeah.
But then you go to Ziggler versus Ambrose.
That one was good.
And that one was excellent.
I was a big fan of that.
Because you have Ambrose, who is good as they
Just
they love
under your skin.
Not even that, but they call him. They want him to be like kind of like the Vegas gambler kind of guy. Like just doesn't care.
He's a
very
vagabond.
cocky in the good way. Then he has Ziggler, who is very, very cocky. But when it comes to being passionate, because this is how he is in real life when it comes to his status in WWE,
right.
When he cuts promos about his time in WWE, about how he's been used in WWE, when you see a promo like that, it's real. It's not something that's scripted or talked about. It's real, raw emotion. And that promo when Ziggler's talking about, being, saying that he's not good enough, and then he's saying he's too good, which we talked about on the show.
Right.
People telling him that, not being able to grab the ring, but then say he's too good to grab the ring, like saying that and looking at his face in Ambrose, and then you have Ambrose saying, retorting in a very cocky way. That promo was one of the best in a very, very long time.
When he ends it by just saying, maybe you're not as good as you think you are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. It was
good.
good.
It was good.
It was enjoyable. And there was some roast. There actually was some legitimate roasting going on there, back and forth to start. Yeah. Ambrose talking about how he's scratching, clawed his way to get to the top, and Ziggler telling him, "Bro, I started as a cheerleader."
Yeah. I was hoping that would actually say Spirit Squad, but no love for Spirit Squad.
Yeah. So I mean, that was pretty good. You even had a little mini roast between AJ Styles and John Cena, but those guys I would not put in my roast battle.
No.
They're
AJ,
just not good at roasting.
No.
John Cena wants to be. He's not.
John Cena's the guy that has been doing the same comedy set for the last 10 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, it was funny the first 5 years, but now it's getting kind of like can you get good movie material,
yeah,
sir?
like he keeps going to the open mic and it's like, dude, it's the same set. It's just an open mic. Come on.
Same set in front of the same people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
come on, John Cena.
It's kind of like the drunk girl. You can only do the drunk girl thing for too long. You got to mix it up a little bit.
You gotta mix it up. Gotta mix it up.
But
which is funny though, because then AJ Styles did call him out on that.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
So
and he did a mic drop.
Yeah. I didn't watch SmackDown. I was watching Stranger Things.
Oh.
So I watched the highlights.
Literally the show Stranger Things, not things that are stranger than WWE.
Correct.
Got it.
There could be some
whatever.
strange things in WWE. But yeah, so I mean they both had, that was their main title promos, and
yeah,
got to give the nod to SmackDown, even though the viewership for SmackDown isn't strong, and Raw is they almost got down to below 3 million.
Oh boy!
So the second week in a row.
It's dangerous.
Yeah. Now back when they had the first draft and they had guys going over, and let's get into this. We're already at 40 minutes, so we're going to go an hour.
Oh,
folks.
man. I was going to just cut it off.
No, we are going to get into, now that I'm thinking about this whole Raw SmackDown thing, I want to vent for a little bit. So I've been watching professional wrestling since 96, 95, and even I was WCW guy before Raw, but I stopped watching wrestling when they did the draft first initially, and then they had it was all about Raw versus SmackDown, the bantering back and forth. They had the evasion, guys going on different, it wasn't fun to me. It sucked, and I stopped watching wrestling. I was a casual fan. I would tune in here and there. I would read the dirt sheets just on the results, see what was going on, but I just was not interested in wrestling whatsoever. So now we have this draft, and for the past 2 months, we've been piqued interest into it. We are excited to see what's going to happen. New logos, new look, new feel, excitement,
new music,
new music. But then on Monday they have Randy Orton, a SmackDown brand guy, come on the show for Raw, and then on Tuesday you have Brock Lesnar going I know they're facing each other at SummerSlam. I know they need interaction. But they knew this before the draft. Why not draft both guys to the same show and do this all on the same show? Why ruin it? I don't want. We talked about it. The one thing we said was this will be great
as long as they don't do this.
Is if they do this, they have Raw, they have SmackDown, and they split away from competing into their own entities, and they just concentrate on themselves,
right?
And not Stephanie versus Shane, which is already getting on my nerves. But they're already mixing guys, and it's not Randy Orton's on Raw. He's been on Raw for 15 years. I mean, come on.
But it was really cool the way they did it.
No, you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen.
I mean,
I knew it was going to happen because they're setting it up.
It happened pretty fast, though. That was pretty great. Him hiding under the ring was awesome. It wasn't a whole him coming down the aisle. His music plays. There wasn't him coming through the crowd and tons of commotion. It was literally comes out from under the ring, quickly does it, and in an instant, it happens like that. That's what made that so much fun. I'm okay with this because of the fact that they announced this match before they even did the brand split.
But put them on the same brand.
I'm from a business standpoint, you put them on separate brands because you want to see if they are going to interact with each other. People will tune in to SmackDown to see if
They're
Lesnar
not,
will
though.
show up. And
SmackDown went down.
I get it. But that's the in theory situation. So I understand where that's coming from. I will be very upset if they continuously every single month do something like this. Your out is that you announced this before the brand split. There was a Freudian slip right there.
Yeah.
Not okay to continue it until you get to Survivor Series. Survivor Series, you got to have a traditional Survivor Series match of
For some
4-on-4 or
stupid
5-on-5.
trophy.
Yeah, something. That's fine. That's fun. But this cannot happen after it. For the moment, though, I am fine with it.
Pandora's box has been open. So, like, what's going to stop other guys from doing it now? What's going to...
Well, maybe Pandora isn't that slutty.
What is stopping the club from helping AJ Styles against Cena? Like, why
Finn
would
Balor.
they have no interaction? So we don't even know that's going to happen yet. I mean, so
We know it needs to happen.
well, yeah, but it hasn't happened. So I
Right.
mean, but like,
Yes, but
so
you're right.
what's-
Yes, there is
so
nothing stopping
it's just,
them.
It's
Especially
just,
because they're going to be on the same pay-per-view, actually.
and then you got a guy playing Pokemon. Okay, I play Pokemon Go. I'm not a fan of Pokemon. I do it because I like trendy things. So I just did it, and I'm not even playing it anymore. But you have a wrestler in the ring playing Pokemon during a live show.
Yep.
I know he's a comedy wrestler in R-Truth. I know Goldust is comedy. They're comedy, but I realize maybe I'm too old for professional wrestling, Steve. Maybe we shouldn't be watching this now anymore.
You know, this has been an argument that we have had multiple times.
This show may stop before 100, Steve.
I have tried to tell you multiple times, Glenn. Sometimes you look at this, and other people look at this too astutely. Like, why aren't they gearing this towards me anymore? Why aren't they gearing this towards me anymore? Think about the moment in time where you loved wrestling more than anything else. It was like your teenage years.
Yeah.
They're always going to be geared towards like kids and teenagers and maybe very young adults. I don't blame them for that. That's your bread and butter. And then their parents take them to stuff, and that's who spends the money. So as people like us sit here and overanalyze it, well, why aren't they doing this? Why are they doing this? Well, you know what? At the end of it, it's really not meant for us as much. If what you want to watch is great wrestling, go to your nearest best independent wrestling show.
Well, folks,
Or watch Ring of Honor.
Episode 95 is the final episode of This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. We're wrapping it up. Didn't make it to 100. And so this is the end, but this is the end then. This is it.
Until, we father children, at which point we will have them.
They can have their
because
own.
they'll be able to understand professional wrestling.
When a guy gets hit by an exposed turnbuckle and doesn't have color, starting to question what's going on here.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. My head's hit plenty of stuff or been hit by plenty of stuff, and I don't have color.
Yeah, but I mean but we're used to that. Used to a guy.
Concussed and
but I
knocked
also
out.
remember it's a straight disqualification for using an exposed turnbuckle in front of the blatantly in front of the ref too.
If intentional, which is why
It was intentional.
Dolph Ziggler headbutted him first, and on the recoil and reaction from it, Bray Wyatt turned around, hit his head, and then dropped down.
I don't think he
Watch
actually,
it back.
I think he
That's
threw
how that
him.
went down.
I think he threw him into there.
No, it was a headbutt. It was a headbutt, and then a turn, boom, head off of there, and then down he goes.
When was the last time they used an exposed turnbuckle in a match?
Oh, probably George the Animal Steel,
No,
circa
come on. Let's be serious.
1986.
It was way. It's been about 8 years, I think. Legitimate.
Yeah, maybe. Or if it's an exposed turnbuckle, it's always into the back. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's supposed to hurt your back even more.
I don't think they even used that into the back. I think it's even been longer than that for using an exposed turnbuckle.
Well, could be. I've seen it pulled off in recent years, like taken off of the turnbuckle. Just don't know if it got used. I think that's it. Maybe it gets hinted at more. Like, oh, he might use it. 'cause
No,
he's a
dude,
bad
you are
guy.
wrong. You are wrong. He did a headbutt, and he grabbed the back of Bray Wyatt's head and threw it into the turnbuckle. And then he hit the super kick. Ref counted at 1, 2, 3.
Oh, well, then that was poor showmanship.
So that was
Pretty sure it's supposed to look like
A-
headbutt, turnbuckle,
no.
super kick.
He grabbed the back of the head of Bray and did it deliberately. I'm watching the video right now. It was, and the ref saw everything.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Somebody blew it somewhere.
No, it's not like he botched it. He grabs the back of the head, literally throws Bray Wyatt's head into the exposed turnbuckle, and the ref sees it. It's supposed to be a disqualification, realistically.
Maybe it's an okay thing if you don't.
I mean,
right? Like if you don't expose a turnbuckle, similar to if a guy comes in the ring swinging a chair at you and you super kick the chair into him, you're not disqualified because you didn't bring the chair in, and that went back on that guy. You know what I mean?
But that's a heel move too. Why is Ziggler using that?
It's a self-defense move. I don't know.
It's terrible. It's poor booking. if you're gonna do it, I watched I didn't watch it live. Watched the highlights and I'm like, oh, exposed turnbuckle. This is great. Like it's been years since I've seen this like worked into a match, but like the ref isn't even trying to put the turnbuckle back.
Live,
on.
the announcers didn't even sell it for anything.
It was
either.
Awful.
The announcers said nothing about it. They didn't even recognize the fact that it was an exposed turnbuckle.
And like we can't even do a curb stomp anymore, but we can throw a man's, if kids. If this is geared towards kids,
yeah.
Back when I was a kid, I was throwing baseball bats in people's faces.
I do enjoy that they're allowing the super kick to be an actual finish move now.
Yeah. Well,
That's nice. Let's get back to that.
Yeah, but after taking an exposed turnbuckle hit, I mean, really anything. But
he won the week before. That's how he got his #1 contendership. Was a straight super kick, clean win.
I don't mind it. I'd rather see the zigzag. I like the zigzag. I mean,
you like the zigzag?
All right, I mean, that's his finish. That's his.
No, zigzag's good. I'm a fan of it.
It's unique.
Fan of it.
But yeah, I don't really get the Smack. Obviously, the viewership is going down. I reach. It's just. It's not entertaining. It's not entertaining. This might be the last episode. It's just not entertaining anymore, man. It's not fun to watch. Raw was like, like, and I don't. What needs to happen for this to be like the draft to be worth it? What needs to? Are we complaining about it too soon, or we need to let it play out?
Yeah, I think we need to let it play out a little bit.
But the instant reaction is they're losing viewers.
Right.
The interest has gone away.
Yeah.
So like, what needs to pique the interest of the casual viewer because of losing the casual viewer? The casual viewer came back.
Big names.
Well, Ryan, I love Mr. Running for Congress, Mr. Rhino, who has won the primary. Good for him.
Just spearing people. But he's not a big name.
But he's not a big name. Shelton Benjamin. It's going to be great to see, but his time was over 10 years ago, and who knows what kind of. I'm sure he's a great wrestler still, but he's not a big name. People are going, who? Who else might be coming back?
I mean, those are the biggest names that would come back.
Exactly. So, I mean, is that going to pique someone's casual interest to come back?
Rock returns. I mean, Brock Lesnar is technically already back, but, that didn't even draw higher viewership.
I mean, they pimped that out.
They did. They said it the week before that he was going to be there.
It still went down. I mean, the last hour of Raw.
The Undertaker showing up, I don't know.
Yeah. The last hour of Raw almost dipped under 3 million people.
Wow.
And that was when they saved it for Brock.
Triple H coming back.
That's our cure. Viewers ratings going down, Vince. I gotta put myself over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it needs to play out a little bit. Hopefully, yeah, we'll see.
I'm not too thrilled about it, man.
I know.
I'm not too thrilled about it. It's the instant rush was cool. Like, hey, a draft. And then now it's just like back to the same old stuff.
Well, it's a lot of more entertaining stuff for people to watch in terms of wrestling.
It's a lot more stuff for people to watch. Entertaining is thrown around.
Well, I say entertaining. I mean, grabbing to different audiences. If a casual fan just wants a story to be told and there happens to be wrestling, they might like a Lucha Underground because it's entertaining. It's a spectacle of sorts. It is a television show, and then, oh, by the way, it turns out they wrestle on it.
Yeah, but I don't even...
So you get what I'm saying? So that person is entertained by that.
Yeah, but Lucha gets how many viewers?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
TNA
they're taking all of the viewers. I'm just saying that there's alternatives. Like you said, there's too much stuff.
Yeah, and then...
We're speaking the same language, just in different ways.
Yeah, and then, TNA is barely getting 300,000 people.
And look, if all you want to watch is good wrestling, you're going to turn into a Ring of Honor and cut out the other stuff.
Yeah, even Ring of Honor is losing all their people. They're all leaving.
Where the heck are they going?
Who knows? I mean, they're TNA, Moose left, Young Bucks contract is up in December. A lot of guys, the contracts are up very, very soon with Ring of Honor. They're losing a lot of guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how they survive. You know what? I think it's going to take some time, but it's gonna be more than just having Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan as GMs. It's good for the live crowd, but I don't think the casual fan or even the more devoted fan is going to tune in because Daniel Bryan's running the show. So
it's good. You know what? Potentially, and this is why it will take time, it's going to take the development of new stars. And they brought in people from NXT, or they brought in AJ Styles, they brought in the club. I guess let's see. But that's going to take time. Think about it beforehand. John Cena wasn't as much of a megastar as he is right now. He wasn't an Insta star. They put Edge out there trying to...
2000... Yeah, he was. First year, he was...
No, when he was the prototype John Cena...
Well, that was indie scene.
No, he was here, as the prototype. He showed up in these little spandex shorts, and he was on SmackDown, and they would call him, the future of SmackDown, because he buddied up with Edge when Edge was a face at the time. And Edge comes out there, and he's winning, and they're like, these are going to be the guys, Edge and Rey Mysterio and John Cena. They were ended up defending each other in some sort of situation, I recall. But that time, John Cena first debuted, and he had the short shorts, man. He was not Dr. of Thugonomics. It took time till they built him up. It might have only been 2 years or so, but it was time. Even Edge, people weren't accepting Edge as being some sort of great singles competitor or a star right away. So that took time. It all takes time. And that's what it's going to be for these people. You look at it anywhere across the history, all these things do. When you went from WWF, the new generation, into the Attitude Era, again, it took time to come up with suddenly a Stone Cold and a The Rock and DX.
Cena
comes and goes.
Cena beat Chris Jericho in his first pay-per-view match, which is...
Yeah, so did Fandango. And it happened to be WrestleMania.
Yeah, but
that doesn't guarantee you being a star.
But we're talking about Cena. Fandango wasn't congratulated by an Undertaker on SmackDown as a promo. And he had guys like Farouk, and he teamed with Billy Kim in a tag team tournament, and he teamed with Don Marie, and then he came. Then literally a year later, he was a Doctor of Thugonomics. Within a year, he was already doing that gimmick, which was way over when he started doing that.
But it took a little bit of time. We're talking about right now getting upset over 2 weeks, and so what you're saying there is still certainly much more time than 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, but Cena's a different beat. Cena is.
So you gotta give it time. Give it time.
Fandango was never groomed to be the John Cena guy.
I understand,
but Cena was. Cena's was groomed from day one to be the man. They knew that what they had was.
Oh sure, but the way he came in at first was he looked kind of goofy, man. It's not like people were instantly like, "This is my favorite guy."
Well, yeah, but they're not going to have. That was back when there was no NXT, and he had guys just come out, and it was generic guys. Everybody was like that when they first came.
But it takes
different time.
All I'm saying is it takes time. Look, the New Day, people didn't like that immediately either. Took a little bit of molding, a little bit of fixing, and now they have been our WWE World Tag Team Champions for the better part of a year.
Yeah.
So it's patience. Let's have some. We just need a little bit of patience.
I don't think it's gonna.
Well, that's fine, but at least let's see. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. It is the WWE. They have been around for over 50 years.
We apologize for our worst show ever, folks.
In sports entertainment.
We apologize for going an hour. Let's go to the awesome. Let's wrap this up. Let's go to the awesome finish.
All right, Glenn. My awesome finish this week, getting Brock Lesnar's F5, the creator of Tinder. Now, you may say to yourself, Glenn, Steve thought you got rid of those things. Sure did. But here's the problem. way back when, I still matched with some girl at some point, following around like Snapchat or the Instagram and all that stuff, because I put it out there after you match with them, and we struck up conversation, and then next thing you know, we're talking. I find out she's a big-time wrestling fan, thanks to her Snapchat, and all of Monday Night Raw, I am talking to some hot babe that loves wrestling, and this is the greatest thing ever. But you know what? She lives in Florida, so screw you, Tinder. She's from Cleveland, but she lives in Florida now. She just happened to be home. Maybe an alert at some point would have been great during that time frame that said, hey, she gone. She not in your town no mo.
Don't you say something like, hey, where are you from?
I just usually assume they're from wherever it was I was swiping. And I swiped in Cleveland at the time. And I happened to look at some Instagram stuff that she had, and it was all Cleveland.
What's your opening line on Tinder?
I don't know that I really have one. I usually wait for them. I wait for them to message me.
You gotta be a man and step up and say something.
No, every dude says something stupid or ridiculous.
I say, hey, how you doing? That's my line.
Yeah, and then they all put in their things. Say something clever besides, hey, how you doing? And
I never get those. Well,
yeah, those are.
I only have
they
like
put
3.
that in their thing.
I only have like 3 matches. So.
Oh well, when I have 327,
All robots.
it's a lot of conversation. All what?
All robots. I work at Facebook. I'm a model too.
Yeah, there's a lot of USA Today writers I've noticed.
I'm like, what is going on? The RNC left like 2 weeks ago.
I didn't even think people were reading periodicals anymore.
Jeez, for a USA writer, like your pictures are really blurry.
Yeah. Doesn't somebody follow you around?
Yeah.
Well, that's my awesome finish of the week.
F5 picked up the pain. F5 connects. The F5 connects.
All right, my awesome finish goes to Mr. Jonathan LaCroix, a man that was the talk of the Major League Baseball trading deadline and was possibly going to be traded to Cleveland. A trade was in place. He had the right to veto it, and he did just that. Decided not to come to Cleveland. He instantly became public enemy number 1 and was traded to the Rangers, which he had no control to say yay or nay with that one, but he was traded, and now he might be facing the Indians when it comes to the playoffs. If the Indians can make the playoffs, and I'm sure he will be booed. But instead, a man that said that he wanted to play for a contender, even though he made it to one, instantly denied a trade to Cleveland. So he gets my awesome pick.
Vader calling out now. Samuel Vader must move. A Vader bomb for cover-up count and a victory, and I might add a very impressive one.
I was going to wrap it up for this week's show. I know we said a half an hour. We're going to keep it close. We are now pushing an hour. I apologize for the lack of news when it comes to wrestling this week.
Totally thought you said lack of nudes.
No. Well, that too. That definitely would have improved the show. AIW has a show this Saturday. Make sure to check it out. Girls Line Out 18. AIWrestling.com is the Twitter and the website. Buy some tickets. We will have our shirts available for purchase as well if you attend the show. So check us out. Steve and I will both be in attendance. We'll have some interviews for you in the coming weeks as well. Hopefully grab a few this weekend at AIW. And looking forward to talking with whoever we speak to on Saturday in Cleveland. So episode 100 coming up soon. Looking to do something. Hopefully. Maybe. Hopefully. I hope. Steve, yay.
Episode 100.
Steve's not even paying attention to what I just said.
I am paying attention. I just
He's
didn't
on
know what you
Tinder.
wanted me to say.
He's
I thought
on
you were going to
Tinder.
end it there. I don't know what you wanted me to say.
He's
Yeah, I
swiping.
want to do something
He's
for
swiper.
episode 100.
Swiper, no swiping.
I was not swiping
He
at
was
all.
swiping. He's swiping
I was
on those USA Today
Looking at
journalists.
Snapchats. The only thing I thought about Jonathan LaCroix is he could have been Jake Taylor, but instead he's Rachel Phelps. Now you got to put him on that thing, rip away a piece one at a time. You guys stink.
Well, the thing is, Rachel Phelps was
I know,
a former
she's the owner.
stripper.
But you see that meme though?
And no,
That's what that was supposed to be.
no dank memes.
They put LaCroix's
Oh yeah,
face
okay.
on the
That's,
that thing.
I don't think I want to see LaCroix naked though, or AKA Sami Zayn.
Hey, look, you're the one who put up Vader's penis on our website.
Well, not yeah. Got good traffic though. it get good traffic. It's all about the hits, man. Trying to get that advertising money.
How many hits do you think Vader's penis has gotten? Hey-oh.
Only one way to find out. Ask the big man himself.
I'll leave that one to you.
Oh, you know what? Vader gets his own Vader bomb.
Okay.
Because someone, said, hey, I love you, Vader. You're a big fan. Would you let them come on my podcast? Someone, I don't like doing that because I think I found it childish asking people to come on a show via Twitter in a public forum, like not privately.
Right.
I find it very tacky, but this guy did it. Obviously, he's not a veteran in the interview radio show game. So he asked Vader, hey, Vader, can I get a interview for my show? Vader's response, how much? How much you going to pay?
Oh, man.
Publicly. So that's what he said. So Vader gets his own Vader bomb. So another Vader bomb for you here, and this is Awesome Wrestling.
Double
Show.
Vader bomb.
Double Vader bomb, giving his own himself a Vader bomb. How about
you
that?
get a Vader bomb. You get a Vader bomb.
Vader gets his own Vader bomb. So I don't think our budget is zero. So I mean, Vader would have to come on, and he did decline an interview with us back in Absolution in 2015.
He did.
So he did it. Yeah, I don't like those guys. Podcasts. I
don't like those.
They broadcast what I didn't say. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, if I say something, they change it up to something else. I'm like, and they're recorded. I mean, I can't splice together an interview saying like, you're racist or something. I'm just broadcasting the audio. Like he thinks they're saying negative things, but anyway.
Well, look, I mean, it's not like you could put together somebody's voice as though they're having a conversation with somebody else, even though they're not there.
Yeah, it's true.
They've got to be there.
Yeah,
it's a real conversation.
Well, I mean, this is Vader. But I love Vader. I love Vader. Vader is one of the best. All right, too much. We'll talk to you guys next week. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. See you this week in AEW if you're going to be there. Say hello to us, and we'll talk to you guys next week for episode number 96.
Congratulations for making it this far.